Well, welcome back, everyone. It's good to see you. I wonder what my little cupboard has to offer today. Wonder what stories we'll find there. Let's have a look. Oh, something popping right out at me. It's a big piece of purple paper. Huh. I think I have a paper story I can tell you with this. It's a big piece of purple paper. I'm going to get my storyboard here. Put it on my lap. My paper here, and I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I know the story I'm going to tell you. I live in a community called Notre Dame, and it's a very nice community to live in. People are very friendly, and a lot of new people come to this area. And I want to tell you about some of those people. Well, there was two new people that came to Notre Dame. Their names were Mr. Long and Mrs. Long. And another couple came too, and they were called Mrs. Short and Mr. Short. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Long received an invitation in the mail. And Mrs. Long was so excited. She just could hardly wait to open it. And inside it said, "Welcome to Notre Dame. Welcome. You are invited to a party at 7 o'clock on Friday. We hope you can make it." Wow. Mrs. Long was so excited. She just couldn't wait. And she put on when Friday came along, she put on her favorite red dress and her nice white shoes, and Mr. Long got dressed in his best suit, and he gave himself a good shave, and they got all spruced up and ready to go. Well, now, when they got, they had to check the invitation. It said, "Come to the center." So Mrs. Long went to the center. There's the center. And Mr. Long, he too, came with her. And they went to the center. When they got there, there was a big door. It had two doors. And they knocked on the door. And they waited a minute. And somebody answered the door. And they went inside. And there was a wonderful party going on. There were balloons, and people were laughing, and there was lots of good food to eat, and there was a band playing, and oh, they just had such a great time. Now, that same week, Mr. and Mrs. Short received an invitation too. And they opened it up. Mrs. Short opened the invitation, and oh, she was so excited. It said, "Welcome to Notre Dame. You are invited to a party at 7 o'clock at the center. We hope you can make it." So, Mr. and Mrs. Short got ready to go to the party as well. Mrs. Short got her most favorite blue dress and her favorite blue earrings, and she got all prettied up. And Mr. Short, he put on his nice suit jacket and his suit pants, and he got all spiffed up and wore his favorite fedora hat. And they, too, came to the center. Mrs. Short came to the center, and Mr. Short came to the center. And when they got there, they found the big double doors. And Mrs. Short knocked on the door. No one answered, so she knocked again. No one answered. And she put her ear to the door, and she said, "Oh my goodness, there's a big noise in there. No wonder no one's coming to the door." And they tried it. It was locked. Well, Mrs. Short said, "I know I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to try it." And she took her fist and she went bang, 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 bang on the door. Nobody came. But after that, she noticed that she had put a little dent at the top of the door. Oh no, it didn't look very good. Well, Mr. Short said, "Oh honey, step aside, I'll try." So he tried, and he went bang, 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 bang with his fist on the door. Nobody came to the door. But just like his wife had done, he left a dent at the top of the door. Oh dear. Mrs. Short said, "Well, I've got to try something a little more drastic." So she kicked the door really hard. Kick, 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 kick. Nobody came to the door. But when she looked back at the door, she left another dent. Oh, what a sad looking door. Mr. Short said, "Well, honey, step aside, step aside." And he too kicked the door. Something you should never, never do to a door. And he went, kick, 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 kick. Nobody came to the door. But just like Mrs. Short had done, he too left a dent in the door. So now they had a door that looked like this. Not much of a good looking door, is it? Oh dear. Oh, they sat outside the door and wished that they were inside at the party. Well, it wasn't long and Mrs. Short noticed a little crack in the door on this side. And she tried to pry it open. She pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled. And she managed to make the door a little bit wider. And Mr. Short got so excited, he said, "Well, I think I can do the same to the other side of the door." So he put his hand in and he pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled until he too had made the door just a little bit wider. And then they were able to go into the center. And there was a party going on. Everybody welcomed them and said, "Oh, I thought you'd never make it. I'm glad you did." And Mrs. Short said, "Yeah, we had a little bit of problem with the door. Oh, we're so sorry. We had to keep the door locked because the wind kept blowing it open." Now, when they got into the party, they were having a great time. And everyone was given a little box to keep their treasures in. And this is the box that Mr. and Mrs. Short were given to put their treasures in. Now, that's the end of that. But I hope that you can remember to tell this story, remember how it goes, so that you can make treasure boxes for your family. And I was thinking that Easter's coming along, so you could make a treasure box for everybody in your family. And you could even take a piece of paper and staple it here, a little short, narrow piece of paper. Staple it here and make it go up and around and staple it there, so you'd have a little handle for your basket. Well, I hope you enjoyed the story of Mr. and Mrs. Long and Mr. and Mrs. Short. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.